There's a nearly invisible moment when you realize that the anxiety tightening your chest didn't come from within you, it simply settled into a space it found open. It's as if the world is breathing too fast, and without noticing, you tried to match your own rhythm to that restless pace. But there is a place inside you where time doesn't rush, push, or demand, a place where your soul breathes at its own pace. And it's into this inner space that I want to guide you now, so you can tell the difference between the weight that truly belongs to your story and the weight you only absorb by resonance. Breathe slowly, because what you call anxiety may actually be the whisper of your higher self trying to remind you of who you are before carrying anything that was never yours. What you're experiencing is not just emotional, and not just psychological. It's something deeper, an inner phenomenon that few recognize, vibrational dissonance. It's what happens when the energy of who you're becoming collides with the version of you the world still expects. It's like existing between two states, a body shaped by matter and a consciousness beginning to shift into a way of living where everything is energetic perception. There is nothing wrong with you. You are in transition. There is misalignment because there is growth. There is discomfort because something new is being born. And in this dissonance, your emotions move like a stormed sea. The tightness in your chest with no clear cause, the nameless fear, the thoughts running without direction, the constant urgency about a future that doesn't even have a defined shape yet. All of this blends together as if your soul is trying to reorganize itself inside a world that no longer knows how to listen to the invisible. Anxiety, when seen only through the mind, looks like chaos. But through the soul, it's reorganization. It's the effort to align yourself with a new inner rhythm while the world keeps trying to drag you back to the old one. The spiritual cause behind this state reveals something even deeper. Your consciousness is shifting from the density of matter to the fluidity of energy. What once felt solid, your certainties, routines, identities, suddenly dissolves. The structure you used to call self begins to crack because it can no longer hold the expansion happening. And if you could see your journey from the outside, you would notice yourself walking on a tightrope stretched between two worlds, the world of the you from before and the world of the you being formed. The tension you feel is not a sign that the rope is about to break, it's a sign of vibrational transition. The rope doesn't exist for you to learn balance, it exists so you realize you no longer need to walk on it. Anxiety marks the exact moment when the rope loses its purpose and you are ready to step onto the solid ground of your own center. At this stage of the journey, your sensitivity grows before your understanding catches up. You begin to pick up emotions, thoughts, and vibrations that are not yours, as if your field were too open. It's natural to feel overwhelmed, not because something is wrong with you, but because you are perceiving more than your old identity could handle. Increased sensitivity is always the first sign that the soul is expanding into a new level of perception. And anxiety is the reflection of that expansion touching old limits. This discomfort intensifies even more because you are letting go of the material model of living, that old way based on control, anticipation, and resistance, and beginning to move into the paradigm of energy, where life unfolds through alignment, not effort. The conflict is born exactly there, between who you were trained to be and who your soul is ready to become. While your consciousness tries to operate through the logic of vibration, your mind tries to hold you to the logic of the physical world. Anxiety, then, is the friction between paradigms, the old trying to survive and the new trying to be born. When you quiet the noise around you and turn inward, you notice something softer. Your higher self does not speak the language of fear. It doesn't shout, push, or demand. It whispers. It says, the world's anxiety is not yours. You only felt it because, for a moment, you forgot the vibration that truly belongs to you. The real way out is not to fight anxiety, but to listen to what exists beneath it, the place where direction and alignment live. To do that, you need to recognize 3 layers of your inner experience: what truly belongs to you and comes from old wounds, what you inherited from family, society, and culture, and what you simply absorb from the environment, like a sensitive antenna. Most spiritual anxiety comes from this 3rd layer. It wasn't born in you, it only moved through you. When you understand this, the weight lifts because the struggle ends. Nothing needs to be fixed, only returned. To give back what isn't yours, all you need to do is close your eyes and breathe. Not as a technique, but as a return to yourself. Then quietly affirm, what is not mine, I release. What is mine, I welcome. What belongs to my higher self, I follow. This declaration reorganizes energy, closes subtle openings, and reshapes invisible boundaries. It doesn't reject the world, it simply returns to it what belongs to it. It doesn't separate you, it aligns you. When you start operating more from energy than from matter, everything shifts. Answers appear before the questions. Intuition rises before explanation. The body senses before the mind understands. Anxiety stops being an enemy and becomes a compass, showing only that you're trying to step back into an old way of living that no longer matches your new vibration. It doesn't come to frighten you, it comes to guide you. This is how the new self begins to emerge. It is not a better character, nor a stronger or more productive version of you. It is a quieter, clearer, more centered self. One that doesn't live to survive, but to express. One that doesn't live to please, but to align. One that doesn't live to fit in, but to radiate. You don't need to create this self, it already exists. You only need to allow it to take the space that has always belonged to it. And when you finally breathe from that inner place, something profound happens. Your body relaxes as if returning home. Your mind slows down because it understands it no longer needs to guard anything. Your soul expands because, for the first time in a long while, it finds room to exist without unnecessary protection. You realize that the world's anxiety was never yours, you only held on to it because you thought you had to. But it dissolves the moment you return to the center that has always been there, waiting for you to come back. The transition from matter to energy is not a traumatic break, but a gentle rebirth. It's the moment you stop trying to fit into the world and let the world reorganize itself around your vibration. It's when silence becomes shelter, sensitivity becomes guidance, and intuition becomes foundation. You are not here to absorb the weight of the world, but to remind the world of the lightness that appears when someone lives from their higher self. May you walk knowing that everything you seek is already within you, and that anxiety is only the last echo of an old version of you that is fading away. The new begins the very moment you breathe and tell yourself, I return to who I have always been. The moment you release the weight that was never yours, something inside you quietly realigns, as if your soul could finally breathe without the interference of the world. In that newly opened space, your higher self touches your awareness with a clarity that was always there, just muffled by the collective noise. Here, you realize you don't need to keep up with the rush of matter, nor absorb the anxiety of your surroundings, because your energy rises from a center no one can move. When you return to that center, everything that once felt urgent dissolves like dust in the air. So if this message reached you at the exact moment you needed to remember who you truly are, stay with me. Share this path. Let the next messages take you even deeper into your awakening, because your journey doesn't end here. It's only beginning, and you don't have to walk through it alone.